I may have misheard. Did you say Brett Ratten?
Indeed, we have the champion Brett Ratten in the studio.
This is unbelievable. This is a first for Aussie and the Scotsman. Before I say hi to Brett, I'm going to do an introduction. Okay, I'm going to read this out.
Make sure it's right.
Yes, because I usually get it wrong.
Go.
Today we're joined by a very special guest, Brett Ratten. Now, Brett is one of those names that Australian footy fans know straight away. But for our international listeners, let me tell you who is sitting in front of us today. Brett, or Rats as he is affectionately known, was a Carlton premiership player, club captain, 3-time best and fairest winner, All-Australian, and one of the great inside midfielders of his era. He played 255 games for Carlton, was part of that famous 1995 premiership side, in which he also won his first of 3 best and fairest awards. Rats built his reputation as the kind of footballer every team needs: hard, smart, selfless, and always willing to put his head over the ball. Then came the coaching career. Carlton senior coach, St Kilda senior coach, caretaker coach at North Melbourne, assistant coach at Hawthorn, where he was part of that extraordinary premiership era under Alistair Clarkson. So Brett has lived just about every side of elite sport. The playing, the leadership, the pressure, the scrutiny, the wins, the losses, the comebacks, and the moments where you have to keep going when things don't fall your way. But today, we're not just talking footy. Brett has brought us Seabiscuit, the 2003 film directed by Gary Ross and starring Tobey Maguire, Jeff Bridges and Chris Cooper. And it's a fascinating choice because Seabiscuit looks like a horse racing movie from the outside, but really it's a film about broken people finding their way back. It's about an owner carrying grief, a trainer who sees something others miss, a jockey who has been knocked around by life, and a small, overlooked, underestimated horse who somehow becomes a symbol of hope during one of America's hardest periods. It's a film about resilience, it's about second chances, and it's about belief. And it's about the strange power of sport to lift people when they need something to hold on to. That feels especially meaningful with Brett here today because his life has had the kind of highs and lows most of us can only imagine. The public success of premierships, leadership and coaching at the highest level, but also private hardship, including the tragic loss of his son Cooper and his daughter Tilly's battle with epilepsy. Brett and his wife Jo have raised their family through moments of great joy and profound difficulty, and Brett has also used his public platform to support causes around road safety and epilepsy awareness. So, when Brett brings in a film like Seabiscuit, a story about loss, recovery, family, hope and finding strength after life has knocked you sideways, it feels like there's something deeper sitting behind the choice. Today we'll talk to Brett about his career, otherwise the big man next to me will never forgive me, the film, the performances, the racing scenes, the true story, and whether Seabiscuit still holds up more than 20 years later. But more importantly, we'll talk to Brett about why this story matters to him. So, Brett Ratten, welcome to Aussie and the Scotsman podcast.
It is great to be here, fellas. That's a big introduction.
It was a big intro. Was it okay? Was it right?
Yeah, it was right. It was,
okay, because I'm known for getting some things wrong.
No, I was listening carefully. You've nearly brought tears to my eyes already. Yeah. Well, there's nothing left to talk about. You've gone through everything he's done.
Well, I know you've got lots of questions. I mean, you have been excited for weeks since we've known Brett's coming. So why don't you kick us off?
Well, firstly, I just want to say thank you, Brett. I've only known you a little bit of time now through a mutual friend, Howard. So maybe start there. So how do you know Howard and where did that connection come from?
Well, it came from, the Carlton Footy Club and Tony DeBolfo and Howie Cotton. They worked together as they did the jumper sponsorship for players.
Oh, right.
They didn't take me, they took Andy McKay, which is, just through that opportunity to catch up and that's what the great thing about footy clubs is about people connecting.
Yep.
And it doesn't matter if you're on the field or off the field, you forge great relationships and friendships, and that's with Howie, the early 90s, and we're still great friends today. So
wow.
That's over 30 years, and same with Tony DeBolfo, great men and great people, and that's what about life is about, the memories and friendships, and whether they're through football on the field or off the field.
Yeah. And I remember our first conversation when I introduced myself and you said, well, if Howard vouches for you, good enough by me. So you've obviously got a good level of trust with him. Can I ask you, so the public sees you maybe as a Carlton player, but you've obviously coached a number of clubs.
Yep.
How did you end up at Carlton? Give us a bit of the life before we knew you, before the draft, I think you were.
Yeah, we were sort of in the last sort of part, of the zone player, you could say, and each club got to go through their scholarship squads, and I was very fortunate to be at Carlton when I was 13.
Yes.
And played through the Phillips squad, which was...
What year is this? What year would it be?
That would have been about 84.
Okay.
Yep. So about 84, my general manager, or the football manager for that team, was Jeff Walsh.
Oh, yep.
Who went on to work at Carlton, but was the CEO at North Melbourne, worked for the AFL as well. So, a small world. But I went through the under-14s, 15s, and then I went to the under-17s, under-19s reserves, and sort of built my way through those systems that they had back then. It was...
Is that all you ever wanted to do? Like, were you a good student at school, or do you wanted to be a league footballer from when?
Well, I wanted to play at the highest level I could. I was an average student. We lived at Yarra Glen. It was about a 30-minute ride on the bus to Lilydale by the time you stopped and picked up other kids and all that. And
were you good at other sports?
I was handy at cricket. Yeah. I came down to South Melbourne for district cricket. It was just a bit too far away to travel, and I was sort of at that age where I had to choose if I wanted to put more energy and time into one or the other. My eyesight, I've had some issues with my eyes over time. I got stigmatism. I've had cataract surgery, and that was when I was playing towards the end. So
is that from knocks or?
Well, it was hereditary. The cataracts. Mum's had the operation, but she had it after me actually. But what happens with the footy? The knocks, the knocks create more growth
don't help
So I had to be really careful. And at the end of '99. I went and got the cataract surgery. I think we had about 6 weeks off. I virtually spent the whole 6 weeks going back to the doctors and getting the other eye done.
Right.
And I had laser surgery done, and my world just opened up. I could see now past 35 metres, so all those leading options that were deeper, they started to appear. But it just made life easier as a footballer and in just general life as well.
There you go.
Did someone pull you aside, your old man or your mum, and say you could really make it here as a? I just want to know, as a kid, when it turned on, or were you dominating at 13 and it was just a progression?
I nearly went to Assumption College just because of the history of players. The players that went through.
Yeah.
I nearly went to boarding school there for when I was about year 8 or 9. And we probably didn't have the money to do it as a family, so that sort of got squashed a little bit. But my footy was progressing pretty well.
Yep.
When you get into those scholarship squads, and you're sort of moving in the right direction.
Yes.
So that worked out well. And then I was playing, at Yarra Glen, I'd play under 15s, and I'd go and play under 17s, and they made it through to the finals, and I was getting best on ground then in that age group up as a kid. So it was sort of moving in the right direction. But
and did you always play the same position?
No, I haven't. I played centre-half forward, centre-half back as a kid. I was a tallish kid growing up, so I was sort of
big and strong.
Yeah, bigger, and sort of by grade 6, year 7, they started to catch me a bit, and then I had to sort of develop a few other things. But I think having multiple sports in your life is critical. I look at the cricket, how it helped develop my ground ball, so fielding and getting low, and I fielded in the gully, and getting down low, I reckon really helped my ground balls for footy. And you wouldn't have thought about that as a kid, but I think the transferable skills that you have from one sport to the next can really help your game.
And that hand-eye coordination also is transferable between these sports, and often footy players and cricket players are good golfers as well.
Yeah,
you play
that's
golf?
not me.
You're the anomaly.
Well, I have a big cover drive that swings onto the next hole, so I have to play off the hole to the right all the time.
I'm very familiar with that slice.
Was there a junior game, like, if you talk to Chris Judd, or they say Juddy kicked 12 once for Caulfield Grammar, you would have dominated junior footy, like you've just said, right? Was there a game where you did 45 possessions or anything?
I played a school game. When we played a round robin. So we played 4 teams, and it was 15 minutes one way, and they changed it 15 minutes the other way. So you got to play 4 teams, and so it was virtually 2 hours of footy.
Right.
I kicked 27-25, so I had a good day over the
Good day.
So, but
you didn't need anyone telling you this guy could play league football.
No.
He kicked 27. Why did you miss so many?
Yeah, that's right. I was selfish. Actually.
Seriously? Did you say 27, 25?
Yeah, something around that.
You've had 52 shots at goal.
Yeah,
But you scored 20. You missed 2.
No, 27 goals, 25 behind.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Sorry. Okay.
yeah.
And he was a brilliant handballer as well.
Did anyone else have a shot?
No, well, we won right through to we were one game off the state final, and I had a shot on the siren about 40 out and missed, and we so I had to hop in the bus and go all the way back to school, knowing that I'd missed the winner. And,
That is, Well,
Isn't that unbelievable?
On the opposite side of that, that's a horrible feeling. A horrible feeling that always carries with you. Do you remember one where you won on the siren, or a particular moment in your career where you had the winning touch, the winning goal, something that just lived with you? Goal on the siren?
No, I didn't get a goal on the siren. I would say the close games where we just fought and scrapped, and you had to keep the ball in and things like that. But the one that you never forget is the 99 prelim, and I was very fortunate to have the ball pretty much at the end before I kicked it about a second or two to Justin Murphy.
That's right.
And then Justin went back, and he didn't want to have a shot because
He held it in the air.
Well, he didn't want to have a shot because he wanted to win by a point.
Oh, right.
He said, I'd rather win by a point than kick it and win by 7. So it's always, that was his thing that he said after the game.
Okay, so now we've done the backstory.
Can you tell us the scene of that? Because that was the prelim. I've got no idea about footy.
That was, without doubt,
but
the
what was
best
the
game
score
of footy.
On that prelim final? What was the score that took you to the final?
No, I think we won 104 to 103.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Mark McCurry won behind Sandy Roberts. He has a shot at the top of the... I've watched that quarter of footy more than any other quarter in my life, and I've watched a lot of football.
Okay, but as a movie guy that knows nothing about football, I'm actually quite interested to know. So you, that game took you to the final,
yes.
Correct?
The grand final.
The grand final. How long had it been since Carlton had been in a grand final?
Everest. You're way off.
No.
Well, it
was 4 years after.
It was 4 years after we won the premiership.
Yep.
Oh, right, okay. Sorry.
And it was the fairy tale because we weren't the favourite. I say we, mad Carlton for anyone who hasn't been paying attention.
Go on.
Okay, so can I just take you back? We'll build into 99. There's a bit to get through before 99.
Go.
Have a rest for a second.
I'll take a step back.
So take us to 93. If we can we start at 93?
Yep.
Okay, 93, we lose to the Baby Bombers, Carlton. What was the feeling? Were you surprised? Was it weight of expectation? They'd catch us off guard. Earlier this year, Neil Danaher passed away, and the talk came up that the night before the grand final, that Justin Madden, that they'd mastered, that Justin Madden would win the knock and to cover, Ratten and Bradley in the centre. Just tell us your thoughts on 93, and did we miss one there that we should have got?
I think when you look at the games that we played with Essendon in the build-up, they were so close.
Yeah.
I think even just to win through the first final was like 3 or 4 points.
Yeah.
That night final at the MCG.
A heave of fever. Didn't he kick 6?
5 or 6. I think Gleeson kicked 4 as well or something. They small forwards had a really good day.
Yeah.
We had the week off, and we went to Dick Pratt's as a team, and then all went across to the game, and we were watching, and we were sitting there, and Adelaide were dominating Essendon, and we were all sort of focused on Adelaide. We'd played them at Waverley a week before.
That's
and
right.
It was sort of like, okay, what's going on? And everyone's talking about, the Crows, and then before you knew it, we were like, wow, they've come back and won.
Yes.
And everything shifted across to Essendon, and it did feel like
they had the momentum. Do you think?
That 2 quarters that they just went bang, they just brought that into the game straight away, and they were on a roll. And Michael Long, as we all know, played an amazing game.
He did,
and they just sort of transferred that from the 2 quarters into that grand final, and we were on the back foot for the the whole day.
I mean, I remember Andrew Jarman had a shot from the top of the goal square to put him something like 43 points in front. Start of the third quarter in his three-quarter jumper, and we were all going for Adelaide because we thought they'd be easier to beat the following week, but it didn't turn out to be the case. Yeah. So that's 93. Curtis, I think, kicked 7 that day. How did you go that day?
Very poorly.
I
played in the back line. It's probably my greatest lesson in footy. I got the best seat in the house. I got to stand on the MCG and spectate from on the ground, really.
Right.
And it really taught me a lot around making sure that you had contributions in the game. And I felt like the game went past me before I knew.
Right.
It was my first AFL grand final playing in. I played in a winning VFL in 1990. But this was one that taught me the greatest lesson of all time, and something I sort of said to myself around, making sure I have a contribution. And Robert Walls always said something back in 87 when I was only a kid, but minute by minute, and I sort of tried to make sure that I have a contribution every minute, whether that was talk, direction, win the ball, spoil, tackle. And
I like that.
If we play for 100, and back then there was no rotation,
sure.
So you'd play for 127 minutes, and that'd be 127 contributions you had in the game.
Yes.
So you felt like you could participate, whether it was a lot of the ball or not much, but you played your part, and that really taught me a great lesson in the game.
It's a fantastic one, actually. My kids often they're playing footy at the moment, and sometimes they'll say exactly what you said. They'll stand there and they didn't get a touch and they didn't think they had a great game. But that minute-by-minute lesson, I think, is invaluable. You can do something. You can contribute in some way in all walks of life. Yeah.
In all sports, right?
Yeah.
My son's a decent soccer player and he's got lovely skills. But I say to him, you're like Isaac Rankin or Gary Ablett Jr. You're getting 15 touches. You've got to get to 30. If you're not doing something for 5 minutes, go and contribute. But now I'm going to say 1 minute.
Yeah, well, but even your voice, connecting with people, you might be
you're
encouraged.
Open, you've got space, whatever it might be.
You feel like you're part of the game, and whether it's encouragement to somebody else or, hey, come on, get to your spot, or whatever it is, you're working together, it's just feeling you're part of the game. And when you feel disconnected, I think the game passes you. So it was one way that I found that helped me, and it probably helped me too as a player, that when I was young, I thought I had to be in the best 3 players on the ground,
right,
to be a good player.
Sure.
And then I changed that narrative to say, the paper puts in about 7, which is really a third of the team, and I'd say I just want to be in that 7 every week, and I want to be the most consistent player at the footy club. Whether I'm the best player of the 7th, it doesn't matter. My name's going to be in that 7 every week. And that's how I tried to build. Instead of trying to be the best, I wanted to be the most consistent. And it made it easier for me and lowered maybe some expectations of, if I didn't get in the top 3, it was all right. I still played well.
Yes, correct.
And that changed a little bit of the narrative for me.
And you probably, just listening to you probably played smarter football, because if you're trying to get in the top 3, you're probably trying to do things that you shouldn't. You're probably trying to take, I don't know, goal of the year, mark of the year, things like you probably just played steadier football, was it, or not?
I probably didn't change me doing things with the ball and that, but it probably just changed. I didn't have to, I could be content with playing, a 7 out of 10.
Yes.
And I didn't have to reach a 9 out of 10 every week.
Right.
And it made me just, be content with, doing my role, playing my role, and understanding that the game, there's 22 weeks when we played.
Yes.
You're not going to roll out 22, top 5 performances.
No, that's right.
And I think taking away some of that expectation and being allowed to not perform as well in a quarter or a half, but still contributing to the game, I think that allowed me to mentally prepare myself.
I've got one for you for 93 before we leave 93. Did Sauce touch that one?
No idea.
No idea, did you say?
No idea.
He carried on like a pork chop. Have you seen it, Rob?
No.
Oh, Essendon kicked one and he screamed. It's famous. He touched and he's running up to the umpire. Okay, so then 94.
Oh, I would probably put that. Is that down with the Harmsy out of
a little bit? That was in Jollymont Street, right? If you listen to Eddie Maguire, it wasn't even in Richmond.
That's right.
So in 94, right? 94, we're going to Waverley. We play Geelong.
Yep.
I'm in the car with my old man, God rest his soul, and my brother, and driving out to the ground. Out comes Couch, Hocking, and Bairstow, right? And Carlton supporters, we were confident individuals at the best of times. So there we are, and we'll absolutely destroy them today. And we were hot in 94.
We were.
And Aaron Lord, I didn't even know who he was. What happened? Can I ask you? We'll get to the good stuff, but I've got to work through it. So 94 broke our heart. What happened that day?
I think the change of system in 94, which we finished second by percentage, I think, to being on top.
Right.
Then we had to play Melbourne, who were 7th.
Was that?
Yes,
was that when we lost to them at the G?
Yeah, it was.
And Bruce and Green, we hadn't heard of them either.
No, that was different. This was Swartz and Sean Charles.
Oh, Sean Charles, yeah.
And they played extremely well, and they beat us. So 7th beat 2nd. So we went into the next part of the draw.
Yeah, that's right.
In the lower part, and then we got Geelong out at Waverley. We heard about it, but I don't think...
Didn't affect you. You didn't rest on your laurels.
No, we didn't think that we were home because of it.
Okay.
But it's interesting. We get beaten by Geelong and we're out. Sometimes I think you've got to go through some pain to get success and to make teams more driven. And I look at history and it's littered with a team that's actually lost a grand final
and bounced back
and come back. And that's the motivating factor. So we lost, 93 out in straight sets. Would have we been as hungry? Would have we had the pre-season that we did?
Yeah. So take us through that. So we lose. We go out straight sets 94.
Yep.
What was pre-season? What does Parkins say to you when you turn? Like, did you think my time? How old are you at this point?
94. I'm 23.
Okay, so you're in the peak of your powers, but you were all a good age, Kerners and Williams, but what was it like? You're thinking, will we ever win one at this point, or not yet?
We knew we had to try and get back there, but it's interesting that some people can say things that just land with a team, and Greg Williams got up and in 94 he won the best and fairest.
Yeah. Should have won the Brownlow.
Maybe. That's for others to decide.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good answer.
Yeah. Anyway, he gets up to take the trophy. He's played an amazing year, deserved it, the whole lot, but he virtually got the best and fairest trophy and virtually put it aside and said, "There, that's great, but I'm not here for that. I'm here to win premierships, and that's why I come to Carlton." And I think all the players, and especially the younger players, not the older players, and he did put it on the younger players. He said, "I don't know if us older blokes can play as well as we have, but you younger players need to take the next step up."
Yeah, right.
And he virtually put it on everyone, and it felt like leaving that night was usually having a beer and all that. It was only put the beer down and I'll run home and get started. And it was something that sort of resonated with me personally, but I know it did with others as well, about a little driver to think, you're right, we've got this chance. And when you look at that older group of players, they were superstars: Williams, Kernan, Bradley, Silvani. They were... when you talk AFL royalty, they were it.
Yeah.
And with us younger players, with Brown, Sexton, myself, and even McKay was Campo was young. He just got drafted that year, so he wasn't there.
He would have been there for the Williams speech, probably.
He wasn't there. No. But just those younger players coming through to hear that, Kuda, Ange, it was pretty powerful, and I think that was the next sort of part of our journey as a younger group. We had to then match it with the older blokes, and I think that pre-season, me personally, for most of the drills I took on Bradley or Williams.
Right.
So if we had one-on-one drills, I needed to keep up with Bradley's legs, and then I had to try and beat Williams inside.
Jesus.
So that was the challenge, to try and make my game better, and I think his speech motivated a lot of people.
Really?
Yep.
How brilliant.
I'm going to let you flow, but I'm just intrigued. All these lessons that you've learned, you've obviously taken into coaching in some way or another, I would imagine, over your career.
Yeah, I think the challenge with coaching is everybody's got a different story and a different path to get to where they want to get to. And, even with coaching now, I'm at Hawthorn, and I try and help the coaches out, but as I say to them, there's no wrong or right way. This is how I did things, and these are the things that I can, went through and experienced. But here's some considerations. You be you as a coach and coach your way, but think about these, type of things and how you go about it with players, or how you teach your own philosophies in the game.
Yeah.
And I think everybody's really, coaches are storytellers. and they tell stories to teams and motivate.
Yes.
And hopefully they can put a plan together and they can connect the people. And, there's a lot of things out there around coaching. You can have the greatest game plan, but if you haven't got the playing group with you, it doesn't really matter. You can have a okay game plan, but if the playing group are with you, you're half a chance. So trying to get the tactical side and the technical side right, with also the connection and the motivation and, I suppose the team culture is critical.
That's what they say, right? Culture eats strategy for breakfast.
It does.
100%.
It does.
And I would say that in all walks of life. If your team are not with you, you can give all the direction in the world. We hear it on the commentary. They're not playing for the coach and those sorts of things.
Yeah.
It's the connection to the team and the connection to the individual as well that I would imagine you've got to foster.
Correct.
It is, and most of the time it's bigger than themselves for players and people to think, bigger than just them. It's not the game's not just about them and their position. It's the team and it's the supporters and it's the club and it's their family that have supported them right through. So it's always bigger than the individual.
I've got to go back to 95 for a few more, then we'll get moving.
And that's fine. And I will say we will talk about Seabiscuit at some point, but you go for it.
The listeners, we'll get to Seabiscuit.
You are in heaven.
We'll get to Seabiscuit. We've got Brett Ratten in front of us. So 95, we lose twice, right?
Yep, two in a row, actually.
2 in a row, correct.
Yep.
When did you think we're on here? We can win this?
Well, I think the good part was, which wasn't a good part, was the motivating factor from the years before.
Right.
So even where we finished on the ladder and we were top and the whole lot, it wasn't like our job's done. There was still pain from 93 and 94.
Yep.
And it was like we're going into every final with...
You were hungry.
We were hungry and we didn't want to slip or drop our guard or be complacent. So
I think we played Brisbane, didn't we?
Did.
At the G, and so, were they sick, or were we? There was talk that everyone was sick that day. There was stomach bug. Was that?
I can't remember, but what I do know is their running into that finals campaign was, I think they won 8 out of 9.
Yeah, they flew home.
Probably if they didn't play us, they would have got a lot further through that final series.
Was that Roger Merritt? Could have been Roger Merritt's last game.
It was. I gave Roger a great send off with about 10 seconds to go. I back with Craig Lambert and he put his knee in the back of my head and took a screamer. So I gave him a great photo as we sent him off.
And okay, so 95, we obviously win it. We're 10 goals up at half time. What was that feeling like? I mean, it's the ultimate. You're a footballer. You've told us since 13 you win the premiership for Carlton. What was that feeling like?
On the G.
It was... I suppose the memories of the work, how long has it taken, the pain that we had to go through to win it.
Was it relief or excitement that you'd won it? Or you probably knew an hour earlier. We're 10 goals up at half time.
There was a goal.
Which one?
Geelong kicked about 3 or 4 at the end.
Yeah, junk.
Yeah, and that pulled it back to 60 odd points, but it was nearly at 90.
Yeah.
But I remember looking over at Cooter, he dropped his head because they kicked a goal and I said, mate, don't worry, we're 70 odd up. It's all right. It's all right, we're going to get there. But I think a bit of both. I think the first part when the siren went was relief.
Was it?
And then as the hours went on, it was the enjoyment.
Right.
Yeah, I think what we'd gone through was like, that hurts.
Yeah.
And the hard part about playing in, grand finals is there's a loser.
Yeah.
But I'd rather have a go at winning than not turn up.
100%. You've got to risk failing, don't you?
You do, and that's the scary part because the pain is so much and everybody reflects on the team that loses in that grand final.
Yes.
But there's 15, 16, 17 other teams. They keep expanding the competition, but they're under those teams that didn't even get there.
Yeah, correct.
And you've got to put yourself out there to fail to succeed.
Can I ask why there was such a big margin but a big difference? Usually, often in the finals, it's quite close. Well, why was it? Just you were playing unbelievably and they had a bad day?
Now, grand finals can blow out.
Yeah,
there's been a few big blowout grand finals. It's not uncommon that a grand final can get away from a team.
What
is there a particular reason for that?
Sometimes it's
they give it away once they got. I always think it's like elastic in footy, right? Once it's past about 5 or 6 goals, They probably dropped their head. They're running hung, and they were unbelievable. Like you said,
what do you reckon?
I think it's the same. I think when it gets to a point, like you get to a point, and then the team, there's nothing to play for.
Yeah.
It's the last game. We're done. And then their motivation factor goes down, and as we know in the game, if effort drops by 1, 2, 5%, that becomes a big gap really quickly.
Okay.
Yep.
So Kerners, what was he like as a premiership captain at 21?
I think his leadership and the time he was at Carlton was about he could bring people together, and he was a great leader. His figure and how he, big man, big voice, very commanding, and performed amazing for the footy club. But I think the beauty was, he was a great captain, but he had great lieutenants under him. Like Craig Bradley was his vice captain for so many years, and that's the combination of leadership, is working with others. And if Sticks was having a bit of a downer or it wasn't going well for him, he had a great lieutenant in Craig Bradley as the vice captain, would take up the slack and then help the team. And then you had Sauce in the back line and Diesel, and we had Earl Spalding's influence at the footy club. Probably the only man that could drink with Sticks long enough in the social scene. But we just had great leaders. Peter Dean.
Yes,
we're very fortunate to have those people around the club to help.
And now Peter Dean's son's playing for Carlton this year.
Yes.
And what a player he looks to be, hey?
He does. He's developing nicely, and they've put him in and just given him games, which is great. It'll be great for his future, and he's going great.
Okay, so 90. I'm going to have to hurry up a little bit, I get the feeling, yes?
No, you do.
Okay, so then we go to 99, which as a Carlton supporter, I actually preferred the prelim than the premiership, because Stephen Quartermain, so I'm getting to my question.
Yep.
Stephen Quartermain on the Channel 10 News on the Friday night said Essendon will win tomorrow by 70 points. They'll kill Carlton. And we go out and beat Essendon, the raging favourite, by a point. What did you prefer? And tell us your feelings around 99 and that game.
It was, I think, games when you play against a team that's favourite and you're not.
Yeah.
It's an arm wrestle, and if you feel the resistance and you feel like you're in with a bit of a show, I think we were fortunate we kicked straight versus them.
Yeah.
Throughout the game, so we kept themselves alive.
Yes, they had a lot of shots at goal, if I remember.
Yeah, I think they've had 32 shots, but they kicked 19 points or something like that for the day. So we were fortunate that they were inaccurate.
Yes.
But it was about grabbing chances, and what happened was we got a little bit of a taste and thought, this is not... We're in this.
Yeah, we're
and we started to get belief.
Yes.
And as you get belief, you become dangerous. And then they couldn't shrug us. And that was, that game was, as we know, was down to a tackle at the end.
Yes. Because you're good mates with Fraser, aren't you? Or not?
Yep.
You're close with him?
Yep.
I mean, that's a forever tackle that Carlton people... If he got stopped in the street, that's the one act people would say to him,
Yeah, that's right.
You know? And tell us...
I can see in his face that you loved that game. You absolutely loved that game.
I did love that game. The only bit is, I think, because of the celebration, if you look back after the event, we probably over-celebrated the game.
Yes, played our granny the week before.
Exactly, and even going after the game, maybe the supporters and the people, and we really enjoyed that victory, but... As we know, there was one game to go.
Yeah. And we sat there. So, I sat there with the two fellas that I go to footy with for 30 years, and we were getting beaten by North Melbourne in the grand final, and we were laughing like, we're not supposed to be here. But we probably, as a maturity, as a collective club and group and players, probably, I don't know, as you said, played our granny the week before.
Yeah, I think we had a run at Northo in the second quarter, and we kicked something like... 1-4.
Okay.
And then it went down and Corey McKernan kicked 2 goals right at the end of half-time. And if we would have kicked 4-1, I think we would have started to get the same feeling as the Essendon game.
Yeah, right.
And here we go, we're in it, boys. But we missed that. They kicked 2 goals, and then the margin got to sort of 18, 20 points, and then we're just chasing all the time, and we couldn't bridge that gap. But I think if we would have, in the second quarter, kicked those goals... I think we would have gone in and thought, here we go.
Yeah, right.
We can do it again. Yeah. And it would have been just enough to be intact with them and give ourselves a chance. But the game sort of opened up a little bit and they sort of kept us at around 4 goals for a long period.
And then, thank you. And then years later, you become captain a couple of years later.
Yep.
Did the players vote or did you put your hand up? How did
Wayne Britton decided then at the time, and I was sort of coming towards the end, and it was a great opportunity. But we didn't have success in that period, which was
no. But we'd come off the back of, as you said, a wonderful era. I mean, I did skip over. You said it in your intro. To win a B&F in 1995, so the best player in the best team, people think that's better than a Brownlow. Right, so is that your highest accolade in your head? Yeah,
it is. I didn't actually get a Brownlow vote that year.
You're joking?
No.
Really?
I missed out, yeah.
I looked up your Brownlow votes in 03, but you only played 6 games.
03?
Didn't you finish in 03?
Yes, yeah.
You finished in 03 because the review of Seabiscuit is 03, so we'll get to this movie at some point.
Yeah.
But yeah, it said that because I looked up how many Brownlow votes did Brett Ratten get in his final year. He got none. Yep. But 95, no votes.
No votes, no.
That's ridiculous.
Oh, well, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
I'd rather win the best and fairest. Or I'd rather win the premiership than the best and fairest.
Is that your proudest moment, winning the best and fairest, or is it something else?
Yeah, it would be. I think it would be from a performance thing, but I think then there's, without revealing things, I think sometimes as a coach, there's things that you help people
Players,
with.
yeah.
And some of them aren't public, and I'm not going to share them.
Yeah.
But sometimes helping a person to achieve something or work through a difficult situation, I think sometimes is even more powerful because it's about the person, not the player. And I think sometimes that's sometimes the hard thing of players when they retire is they've got an identity as Brett Ratten, the footballer, but there's so much more to people when they're there. They're a father. They do other things, and we and rightfully so. That's how we view them in society, as they're just the footballer. But there's so much more to people.
And you, as the coach, have to be the counsellor and the parent in a way, and and really mould them. And
we do have clubs. It's great now. Back in my time when we played, we didn't have that support, but now they're psychologists and there's people with greater skill sets than the coach. Some of it's out of our skill set, so we pass it on. But I think sometimes helping people through life and
setting them up for the future after
exactly
football.
And that's really important.
I was once told a saying by my old boss: people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
Yeah.
Right, and that's what you're talking about, is that you're managing or leading or coaching the entire person, not just like him because he's can kick a football.
That's right.
Can I ask you some lighter stuff for a minute?
Yeah, go for it.
Is it true that you vomited before games or not?
Yeah, it is.
Every game?
Yeah, from a game 50, I don't know why, I got very nervous, but then...
was it nerves? Did you go to a doctor or anything? Or?
No, I didn't worry about it. It just like it felt crook, and sometimes it would come up. Sometimes I'd just go like that quickly and it would just come up. But, I nearly got pulled out of a state game. Jared Healy went to the toilet and I was throwing up, and he come back and he said...
Who said, sorry?
Jared Healy.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And he said to Diesel Williams, your mate's in there throwing up. Is he all right to play? And he goes, don't worry, he does it every week, so leave him alone.
He's looking after. Were you a talker on the ground? Were you a sledger?
I could. I think the more you got sort of tagged, the more you sort of tried to get into them a little bit.
Yeah.
And maybe when you look back, it was probably because I wasn't getting a kick, I became more chirpy.
Okay.
And to try and change the
psychology.
And how it was going, and try and get them off their game a little bit, or focus on something different. Or sometimes it was trying to get me motivated.
Sure.
Because what I was doing wasn't working.
Pump yourself up.
So trying to really fire yourself up.
What was the best one you ever heard? Did you ever hear a good sledge across to a fan or across on the ground? Did you ever hear any... Juddy's got a famous one with
the swords, yeah.
With the strapping. They said, why have you got the bandages? He says, because I carried you fellas for 5 years or something. Anything like that or not? Was Williams chirpy on the ground?
Yeah, Williams was chirpy, but Williams had hit him. He wouldn't actually verbally do it.
Well, his record shows that.
Yeah,
right?
he would whack him, or yeah.
Right.
But
okay.
Yeah, I can't think of any off the top of my head. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to run through some players.
Yep.
We'll nearly get to Seabiscuit. Okay.
Go for it.
I just want you to give one word. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So just one word for Kilda. We'll just start with Kilda.
One word. I'd say his athleticism was amazing for his size. Like, he could play small, tall. Yeah, amazing.
Bradley.
Freak endurance, and his contest. His commitment to the willingness to win was unbelievable.
Fraser Brown.
Mad.
That was his nickname. Mad Dog, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah. Sexton.
Reliable. Yep.
Milhana.
Bald? No. Fast.
Was it?
He was quick, Mill, yeah.
I was at his first game in '87 when he did his knee, and he had those few tufts of hair.
Yeah.
Anyway, Diesel.
Innovative.
It's interesting. Okay.
Yeah, because he saw the game differently, and he did things that were before his time, I reckon.
And he wasn't blessed with the traits of a Kuda, right? I mean,
but his anticipation of where the ball would go next was ahead of others. So he relied on others, but because he couldn't get there. But that still made him a great player. Yeah.
McKay, the physio.
Yeah, he was tough. Jeez, he was tough. He was, and he pre-season camp, I'll never forget it. We had to do run-throughs, and we had to do 200s. And his first time to the 10th time moved marginally.
Oh, really?
And he was mentally tough.
Was he?
Oh, yeah.
That's a good one. Harry Madden? Underrated or not?
Underrated. He sort of told everyone he really didn't care until it came to game day, and then there was no bigger person that cared more about it. Yeah.
Because he lived in his brother's shadow. I mean, Simon was if people talk ruckman, they talk Simon Madden, but Harry was amazing. Justin Madden was
amazing. Yeah. He was a great player, and played to 35, 36, bluffed him. Got Peter Jess to put him on a bike to try and get a contract. And Braddles always he told me a great story when he went into politics.
Yeah. And
Craig rang him up and said, Justin, you in politics, this is a joke. How could they do this? You being in politics, it's a rort.
Yeah.
He said, sorry, Craig, I can't talk. My car's just turned up. I've got to go to work.
Earl Spalding, good drinker. You told us that before.
No, he's not as good as Sticks, but I just see that Guy McKenna knockout of Earl Spall, but just his hardness and throwing his body around, and some of it was reckless, but it was imposing. And
he was a great foil for Kernahan as well, but as the second forward.
That's right, but it wasn't just the second forward. He allowed Kernahan to play deeper because Earl would play higher, and that allowed Kernahan to play closer to goal. So he did all the bullocking work up and back and across, and that allowed. So great team player.
Campo. Baby Campo?
Yeah, that leg of his was a weapon. He could kick the ball 55, low, hard, flat, get it there so quick.
Yeah.
With a penetrating kick.
Two more, Kerners?
Kerners he's the leader. You could say he's sort of nearly the godfather of our team.
And I've brought him here. Just to show for those watching. So yes, I was 21 when you won.
Explain what you've got.
Okay, so this is the 1995 top that they would have worn, and on the back it says "To Rowan, best wishes from Steve Kernahan."
Yeah.
I mean, I loved him when he kicked. I think he kicked 11 in the state game in about '83 before he came.
Yeah, on Bruce Dool, I reckon.
On Dool, correct.
Yes.
We could talk for hours here.
Yeah.
Parkin, give us one more on Dave Parkin. Well, who was your favourite? Do Parkin.
Well, Parkin was my favourite coach.
Yeah, well, there you go. That answers it.
Yeah, so, but just motivation. Like, I think when you have a coach for so long, sometimes over a bit of time you might say, geez, we're getting sick of his voice or whatever, or the stories. But when he decided not to be there, you missed it because he would make you, he'd motivate you to get the hairs on your neck up and a bit of goosebumps and let's go, let's play. And, his speeches to groups were fantastic.
Were they?
Yeah, he could motivate you.
Okay, got some fun ones. Okay, my son came up with this one, right?
Yep, no worries.
Okay, who would you start, bench or delist? Start on the ground, put on the bench, delist. So you can Judd, Williams and Bradley. You got to start one on the ground, put one on the bench and get rid of one.
That's not fair.
I don't want to get you in trouble.
That's not fair. How do you answer that without...
It's impossible. Offending someone.
Yeah, I nearly...
Did you play with... You never played with Juddy?
No, I didn't. I coached Juddy.
You coached Juddy?
Yeah.
Oh, how good. Jesus. What's that like? You don't have to answer because...
I can't answer. It's nearly a no comment.
Plead the fifth.
Where does you compare them? Just in terms of, my son's 22 and he thinks Judd was phenomenal, and I said there were two fellas before him, I
would say that's true. I'm with you, bro, in that. I would say Judd is probably third because he didn't play his whole career and neither did Williams, and they both won Brownlows at the club.
Yep.
Judd did and Williams. But I just think, I would have probably Bradley because of the longevity at Carlton and what he's done, Williams and then Judd.
Fair enough. Do you listen to footy? I mean, you're obviously still involved. I was going to ask you your favourite commentator. Got a favourite commentator? Bruce? Dennis?
Yeah, I would say those two would be right up there over the time,
Sure.
I think some of the impacts of commentators has been their comments and their one-liners. I think, Dennis is in that category.
Yeah, sure.
And, even Rex Hunt for what he did to the game.
How good.
And some of his one-liners just on the radio and people still say them today.
Yes.
I think
my vernacular is from Rex Hunt.
Yeah, so just the power of what they've done in the game, in the commentary space, whether it's telly or radio.
Okay. That's just his playing days. We haven't got to his coaching days. I'll go a little quicker. Okay, shall I go a little quicker? Okay, so you take up, you finish in 03.
Yep.
When did you start coach, or when did you...
I went to 04, I went to Melbourne under Neil Danaher.
Yeah.
And I was in a room as big as this room with Chris Fagan.
Yeah.
Now the Brisbane coach. He did the forwards, I did the midfield.
Right.
Neil...
Was he impressive? Could you see him at the time thinking this guy could be a senior coach one day, or you didn't see it at that point?
Probably in my time I was trying to learn the coaching ranks.
Sure.
And we would bounce off because Fags would sort of ask me questions about where the game's at, and then I'd ask him about the foundation of coaching and the things that I have to do to build a coaching career. So he was a great sounding board for me, and I was very fortunate to be thrown in a room with him.
Yes.
He's a teacher by trade.
Yes.
He'd played at a really high level, tried out at Essendon for a little bit, but went back and played 280 games in Tassie.
Yes.
So he's a great player in Tassie in his own right. So,
Did you always want to be a coach? At what point did you realise or think you'd put your hand up for that?
I was a student of the game. I would study the opposition.
Or during your playing career?
During my playing career. So I tried to do as much as I could in that space. It really fascinated me around the strategy side of the game and dissecting the opposition, things like that. So that side of it, I loved.
So it's a bit of a no-brainer. You're heading in that direction anyway. Yep.
Yep.
Okay, so take us to your interview at Carlton, and if we skip forward a little bit. So,
excuse me.
Did you play that you were one of the Carlton prodigal sons and the premiership? No, that didn't help you?
Not really. What I did do, I had 6 weeks. I didn't know if I was going to get the job or anything. Dennis just parted ways.
Yep.
They'd given me the interim, and all I said was I had a couple of meetings where I had to present. But what I did say was...
Who were you presenting to? Is this Ian Collins at this point?
No, this was Greg Swan,
yep.
the CEO, and then, Adrian Gleeson was the football director.
And you would have been mates with Ginger, surely.
So we played with each other for a while and all that as well. So, Sticks was there was others there in the presentations. But what I did say was all my meetings are open for everybody.
Yep.
Really, if you want to see how I go about it, come to every meeting that I do.
Yes.
There's nothing
to hide.
Sit in the box if you want, do whatever you want.
Yes.
And that can be, I thought that's the best way to interview,
yes.
is actually showcase what you can do.
Yes.
And I had 6 weeks to do it, so you can see the good, bad, or the in-between.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, it worked. You got the gig.
Yeah, I did. And really, reflecting back, it was amazing to be on that journey. And we won 10 games in our first year. Then we played finals for 3 years.
Yep.
We lost 3 interstate finals by, I've let it go, 7, 5 and 3 points. And I was thinking, if we got another away final, we're probably going to lose that by 1 if we just went in the numerical way it was travelling. But it was. We had a team. I think we were just the next level down with talent. We needed just to add a couple more. And and in my last year we used 41 out of 42 players.
God.
We had we won 11 games, had a percentage of 107.
Do you mind me asking, so do you think that you were hardly... The talk was, so we lost to West Coast, I think, by 3, and we didn't have Cruiser and Gibbs. And everyone said, if we'd had Cruiser and Gibbs play that day, we win the prelim, we'll go get Malthouse. Was that talk or bullshit or what? No?
I'm not sure.
Because that was the final you were talking about when we lost to West Coast.
We lost to West Coast by 3.
Yeah.
We didn't have Gibbs.
And Cruiser didn't play that day either.
Yeah, Cruiser didn't play. I don't know if Waite played either.
Okay.
And Hampson was going to play, but he went for a run with Megan and rolled his ankle during the week.
Okay.
He kicked 5 the week before and then went for a run with Megan on the Monday night.
And then Megan Gale, the supermodel, that's what he was talking about.
Battles, I think there's a few blokes said if Megan wanted to ask you for a run, you'd go for that.
You probably would. Hard to say no to Megan Gale.
But anyway, so he was one that we took over. We tried to see if he was right, but he didn't get up. So
yeah, right. Yeah. Okay. And then, so you leave Carlton. We won't go too much into all that years later. I was at the Gold Coast game, which was, that was an unfortunate day. I think Levi kicked 0-5. Do you remember that game well or not?
Yeah, I did. We won clearances by 15. We had I think we had 30 shots at goal, 1 inside 50s. I think our forward line...
So you don't remember it at all?
No. Andrew McGuinness done in ACL in the first minute, I reckon.
Right.
Of the game.
Yes.
Maybe first 5 minutes. But, we peppered the goals and we just kicked extremely poorly.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
So then take us forward. So you leave Carlton and then you end up at St Kilda, don't you, or not?
I go to Hawthorn for 6 years.
Oh, sorry. That's right.
Yeah.
When you're involved in the three-peat.
Yes.
With Al.
Yeah, which was amazing. I thought, geez, this is easy.
Yeah.
Why wasn't I doing this at the Blues? But they had an amazing side, amazing leadership with the players, the players.
Is that Hodgie or Mitchell or who was that?
I was all of them. When you look at Sean Burgoyne, Mitchell, Hodge, Lewis, Roughhead. Buddy was there for 1, and then moved to Sydney. But you had Josh Gibson, Grant Birchall.
Right.
Like in every line, there was a leader of some capacity. So the hardest thing in games is trying to change momentum. And changing momentum structurally, you've got to do things, or personnel-wise. But with that group, you could throw things through a quarter and get change.
Yes.
Where a lot of teams, you've actually got to nearly wait. You try it,
yes,
but you've nearly got to wait till quarter time or half time or three-quarter time to get the change to work.
Yes.
Yeah.
So just to declare, Alistair Clarkson was my PE teacher at school.
Yep.
Right. So I used to play tennis with him. It was called the Special Squad, and his that's just what they called it. There was 4 of us in it. His girlfriend became his wife, and she worked at Grimwade there, and he'd drive me home. I know this is, teachers aren't allowed to be with students, but this is before all that PC stuff, right? And so Al and I became friends, very quite matey, like we would. So now if I ever saw him, Woofy remembers me that. But you're with him all the time now, aren't you? Don't you work? You're back at Hawthorn now.
Yeah, but that's with Sam. He's at North.
Of course.
Yeah.
Get myself all confused here. Get myself all rattled.
Same thing, different time.
Yes, that's right. But how did you find Al? I mean,
he was very driven. how he saw the game and ability to try things.
Yeah.
And I would say the same thing happened to Hawthorn as it did to Carlton in 95.
Hang on to the champs.
Well, they had to lose 12 to actually become motivated to win 13, which then became 14, and 15, right through. So going through that pain created this drive. So when I got there, I thought, geez, have a look at these blokes go.
Yes.
But then they said, this pre-season's up on the last one because they got beaten by Collingwood in that prelim.
With Luke Ball.
Yep.
Yeah, the Luke Ball.
So they virtually did
That's right.
something similar to us, but the other way around. We lost the grand final, then lost the two finals.
That's right.
And Hawthorn's lost the prelim, then lost the grand final. So they had something similar.
Correct.
Where they had to go through the pain.
Well, that's right. Malcheski, wasn't that Malcheski in 2012?
Yeah, that's right.
God.
Yeah. But I had a great time, and, the way Hawthorn's ran as a footy club was, amazing.
Well, they must be still Sam Mitchell's revered as this super genius. Is he as good as they talk about? Or?
Yeah, he's a very good coach.
Is he?
Yeah, very good coach. And the club, though, the club has been run so well for so long. I think their first premiership is in 56, around there.
Yeah, they've won something like 12 premierships in 50 years or something ridiculous.
Well, in the time to now, I think they play in a grand final every 3.6 years or 7 years.
I mean, it's unbelievable compared to Carlton. So what do you consider yourself? A Carlton person, a Hawthorn, a North, a St Kilda? What do you consider yourself? Or a football person, I guess?
I would say, my blood runs blue.
Does it?
It does. Well,
That's
I love that.
I coached 120 games. I played 255. I probably played another 60, under 19s and VFL games in there.
Yes.
I spent a long time. I spent 20 years of my life there.
Okay.
But I'll always say I've got a huge soft spot for Hawthorn because of, winning those flags. You create, the connection.
Yes.
And how the club treated me through times as well under adversity.
Yes.
They were very caring, and I really appreciated that from a family sense as well.
Probably last one, but then we'll get to this film. I
Yep.
better remember the movie. What was your time at St Kilda? Was that positive, negative in your life? Coaching St Kilda? I mean, their dearth of success. They've won one in.
Yeah, I think the first year was COVID. We had things that were out of our control because of COVID. But first year we played in a final series, first time in 10 years.
Yep.
And we won a final and went through. And if we didn't lose Paddy Ryder playing Richmond, who knows? We might have got Richmond.
Right.
I think we lost by 17 points or 19 points.
Right.
We lost centre bounces, and that was an area that Paddy was fantastic.
Yeah, wonderful ruckman.
Wonderful, ruckman. And, and then when we came back, we just couldn't... We had sort of different years. I think we had a bit of late, COVID hub legacy, baggage that we carried on.
Yes.
And then we started really poorly and finished really strong in the next year. And then the year after we
started... Which year is this? Which year are you out there?
I've got to remember. It feels like a lifetime ago. But it was 2000 and... What have it been now?
COVID finished... 2022 would finish.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. I reckon it was 20... I got the flick there in 22. So I'd say 21 we started really poorly and finished strong, and then 22 we started strong, but we had the worst draw of all time.
Right.
We played three of the top four teams twice, and we just we finished with a sort of a run where we just couldn't get our head above water, and we finished 10th, which would have given us a chance to play finals.
Now you used the word flick there, so I've just got to ask one, right? Did you know you're in trouble at St Kilda, and when do you finally get told, hey Brett, we're not going to continue with you? How did that get said to you?
We had to catch up. I went on holidays. Excuse me. I went on holidays for just a quick getaway, just to refresh.
Right.
And then came back and had to go and see Andrew Bassett. Went through that. But then I sort of, as soon as after that meeting, I thought there's something going on here.
Trouble's in the waters.
Yep. and they just decided to move on.
All right, fair enough. All right, let's I think we take a pause, give Brett a glass of water, we'll take a breath. We'll come back in a minute with Seabiscuit.
With who? What we doing?
Seabiscuit. We are movie podcasters. I could talk to this fella all day. I've got food and water for him outside.
I don't want to hold you up in any questions you have, but we will. Maybe we'll come back to some pretty. But okay. Why Seabiscuit? Why did you want to bring this movie to us, and what's it about for those that don't know?
Well, it's around really. It's the story's really about the horse itself and what it achieved, and but then there's the personal aspect too that I think it's a great movie, and I think it shows a lot of courage, resilience, belief, faith through the story. I think with the jockey. Red is his nickname, and he was
couldn't see in one eye, right?
Yeah, by the end, and then he breaks his leg.
That's right.
So badly. But the persistence of him to someone to have faith in him, but then the trainer to somebody to have faith in him, and then just even the dad, Howard, his business goes down, and then he creates the cars. He changes from the bikes to the cars.
That's right.
And builds himself. And then he goes through the tragic loss of his son, and they find joy in the horses and his new wife and all these things. So it just, I've been involved in. I love the horses as well.
Have you got horses?
I have. We just retired one horse, Mornington Glory. He was a star. He won a Group 1.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
How good?
Yeah, so good. And just I love movies that are true. That have got an element of truth around them. They always,
as do our true stories, just so much more powerful, hey?
They are, and even with me, if you thought it was about a 6 out of 10, I always give it a mark or two up because it was true.
Yes,
and it holds just a bit more weight for me with the whole thing. So
I agree.
I think the Seabiscuit story is, they say a saying through there. I think I watched it about a month ago again. About you might be a little bit banged up, but you're not broken.
Isn't that a great line?
You don't throw a whole life away just because he's banged up a little.
Yeah.
Fantastic line.
It is a great line.
Yeah.
And I think what it does too is a little bit around coaching for me. Is a player might not be performing or he's not down, but I think everybody wants somebody to put their arm around them, show them the belief. And I think even in our game, you can kick and catch in that, but the biggest thing is about the self-esteem of the player or the person.
The mental side of things.
And we can actually make them feel like they belong and they're a part of it, and that we have faith in them and trust. I think we can just get a little bit more out of them.
And that's what you talked about before, being some of your proudest moments is what happens behind the scenes, the talks that you have with players.
Yeah, I think watching a player grow from where they've come from and having faith in them, I think that's great.
And that's what Jeff Bridges' character had in this movie with Tobey Maguire's character. He nurtured him. Yeah. He believed in him. And he came back from it. He came back through all that adversity.
Well, that's right. When Chris Cooper comes out and he says he lied to us, he can't see. He gets beaten in that race because the horse flashes up the outside. And that's when Jeff Bridges plays the line back to him. You don't get rid of the guy because he's banged up a little bit.
And it's an underdog story as well. And we've watched a number of movies where sport galvanizes a nation.
Yeah.
Chariots of Fire obviously was one. What was the Nelson Mandela, the Rugby South Africa?
Invictus
is another. It just came at the right. It was the 1938 Sea Admiral? War Admiral v Seabiscuit.
Which he became a great stallion, War Admiral.
Yeah, what was the story with
what a beautiful looking horse in the film though as well.
Yeah.
That's a little bit of Hollywood when they're there in the garden looking with the binoculars, and there's this beautiful big black horse comes out, and Seabiscuit, if you research it, was tight. I think they measure horses in hands.
Yeah.
Was 14, and this thing was 18.
Yep.
It's like double us. It's massive.
Massive, huge horse. But what it did for the Great Depression and all that, and it was amazing what it did for people and the battlers
and the belief. That's right, something to look up to.
Exactly, and I think that's what we all want.
So there's a lot of parallels with Farlap, actually, right? Because Farlap, I like Seabiscuit. Don't get me wrong, but I prefer Farlap being an Australian and knowing more history about it. And Farlap won in 1930, and that was the Depression, and the weight can stop a train, and have you seen Farley?
Yeah, I have. Yeah. I've watched all those horse
you like
Secretariat, all those other ones.
Secretariat, actually.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, I mean, we can analyse the movie, or we can go straight into Rowan as a segment. It's called Rowan Reminisces. We like to talk about the year, or a year that he chooses, and he's got a few questions. So should we head into that a little bit?
We finished with the film. It's the shortest preview of a movie we've ever done.
I know Brett's got he's got things to do as well. We've still got a bit to get through.
I just want to go through the cast quickly. So the cast here. You got William H. Macy. Did you like him as the sort of the funny commentator with doing all his own sounds? He was a bit of the court jester.
Was that true? Was that, you reckon that's true to life?
I think it would have been. His assistant, the
assistant was doing all the noises and the tin cans.
Right. I think he was up to no good, that bloke. But he played the sneaky reporter. He was there at track work with the paper, and Seabiscuit coming back. And he was just doing his crafty stuff to just get some information and use the noises. And that was a great bit about the radio.
Yes,
back then it was how creative they were with.
Correct.
The rain. They would say it's raining here and pretend it was using the voiceover. So very good.
It was very good.
I'm going to ask you something now. It's very personal, right? You could have chosen any film, and you chose Seabiscuit. And a big part of Seabiscuit is Jeff Bridges' son has a car crash and passes away. You've experienced some of that in your own life.
Yep.
Do you want to talk? What can you tell us? Share. Is that why you chose this film?
There was elements of that when you put the list up of films to have a look at and all that, and I picked a movie that I wanted to watch again.
Sure.
And that was
one you connected with.
Yeah, I connected with. I thought there's so many things in it that resonated with me, and that some of it I didn't enjoy, and some of it did. But the overall thing of it was they didn't give up on everyone. Everyone went through adversity, whether it was the trainer, whether it was the jockey, or whether it was the owner.
Yes. They
all had something in their life, and they come together. And even the horse, really.
Yes.
The four.
Well, the horse broke the leg.
It did.
And they said, I can put it down if you want to.
Yeah, but they didn't.
No, but they didn't.
Yeah.
How true to life is this movie? I know you say it is based on real life and that the events are true, but in terms of the making of it, is it very Hollywood? I'm not a horse guy, you are. Are a lot of the scenes real, true to life?
I would say back then, like, you think about it, operations that we have as footballers. If you had to have an arthroscope back in the 70s, you were out for the year.
Yeah.
Now you can be back in 3 weeks.
But do you think in the horse? I didn't research. Do you reckon the horse? The only bit for me that felt far fetched was the horse leg, right? Like, so a horse is what? How much the horse weigh? 600 kilos, 700?
Nah, 500.
500.
Yeah.
If a horse breaks its leg, they don't run again, let alone become champions again. Now, I know it was years later. Do you think did it really break its leg?
I would have to say whether it was
how serious?
Was it a fracture or was it a broken leg?
Yeah.
That would be the part that you would sort of say, and you could call it under the broken leg if it had a fracture.
Yeah, that's right.
So I'd say there was an element of truth in that. But
that's right. There's got to be a bit of movie in Hollywood in all of it, right? But
I think the Jeff Bridges' part with the car and things like that was, it brings back memories. Cooper passed away. It'll be 11 years in August. We think of him every day.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
And the trainer's name in real life is Cooper.
Yeah.
I thought, Jesus Christ, this is close. That's true.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
How old was he when he passed away?
16.
16.
Yeah. And you still raise awareness for road.
I've done a bit with the road traffic and all that, but I haven't done it for a while. They still do the codes that they do weekly.
What's
they
that?
have a weekend, where everyone wears an armband and you can put a message on there for somebody. It's a great concept by TAC.
Oh, right.
And they do it, they have done it every year, which has been fantastic around the web.
Sorry, what on
So TAC do it for football.
Yeah.
So they will do it at local level where everyone puts a
message, a note on.
Yeah, and you can
remember you Cooper or something. I don't know.
You can put any message for anybody.
Oh, this is not just on the anniversary for you for
No,
Cooper.
not at all. This is more
an awareness.
Awareness.
Oh, great. Okay.
And then the country part is this happened at Yarra Glen, which is semi country, but a lot of road tragedy happens in the country.
Well, because they're going faster, aren't they?
Well, they're travelling more kilometres
Yeah.
and they're going quicker because of the roads, and maybe the roads, are they as good on the line?
If they're not sealed, that's right. You're not going to be doing 150 down at,
you can't because of the build-up and density that is in suburbia, and you've got animals and all these things that come into country living that influence. So just the awareness around, taking your time. If you're 5 minutes late, who cares? Watching your phone, don't touch it.
Do you drive safer as a result?
I think you think about it so much more, and especially when Tanner got his licence and now our other daughter Georgia got her licence, you sort of really drum it into them around being safe, and
it comes with maturity as well. The older you get, the more you want to drive safely as well.
Yeah.
But Cooper wasn't driving, was he? He was the passenger.
He was in the back seat.
Jesus.
Yeah, tragedy. Okay, so
you want to go now?
So you explain what's happening next.
Okay, so now I do a section called Rowan Reminisces. So the film was 2003.
Yep.
And I go through a range of questions. Robbie's normally here by himself, so he can't lose. Well, he can lose, but not really to anyone. So we'll throw you in a bit as well.
I'm very good.
He is very good. So we'll give Brett first right.
Oh no,
okay?
No. I'm straight in.
Yeah.
No, it's a competition.
It's a competition.
Yeah, first whoever's in, press the buzzer.
Oh, jeepers.
All right, start. Okay.
I'll be the judge.
I think it's time for Rowan.
This might be. We have any questions?
I'm not sure.
We're making it up as we go.
It's usually
it might be 0-8.
I can orchestrate a victory here for you.
If you listen to the podcast in the past, it's usually never very good. Anyway, here we go. Rowan, reminisces. What year are we in, son?
We are doing 2003 because that's when Seabiscuit came out. So that's the year we do.
Here we go.
Okay. The winner of Best Picture in 2003 was Lost in Translation, Master and Commander, The Far Side of the World, Mystic River, Seabiscuit, or Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King.
Lord of the Rings.
Oh, yeah.
Bang!
Okay, this is...
B. Ratten, 1. R. Harris, 0.
Okay.
Winner of Best Actor in 2003 was Bill Murray in Lost in Translation, Jude Law, Cold Mountain, Ben Kingsley, House of Sand and Fog, Johnny Depp, Pirates of the Caribbean, Sean Penn, Mystic River.
Oh, we know that one.
We know this one. So
Sean Penn.
Well done. Bang. 2-0.
Good job.
Best Actress so I do the same 3 questions every show for the year. Best Actress in 2003 was Charlize Theron for Monster. Keisha Castle Hughes. Have you seen Monster?
Yeah.
Have you seen Monster?
Yeah, I have.
Is it good?
Yeah.
Should we do it on the show?
Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Keisha Castle Hughes for Whale Rider. Diane Keaton, Something's Got to Give. Samantha Morton in America. Naomi Watts, 21 grams. The winner of Best Actress in 2003 was...
Brett.
Charlie Theron.
I think so.
Jesus Christ.
3 from 3.
Thought you weren't any good at this. That's 3-0. Okay, so now I've just got general information. It's not really questions, so you can...
turn it into a quiz.
Well, it's hard, all right? I'm just going to give you general info, right?
Okay.
In 2003, the Iraqi war began. The SARS outbreak was massive worldwide. Another tragedy, we talked tragedies before. This was a tragedy, if you remember, the Columbia, the space shuttle. The 7 astronauts, they got about 5 yards. Remember the whole...
Yeah.
Was it the Challenger? Is that what it was called? I reckon it was.
I think so. You're rolling reminiscences.
Yep. And the Apple Tunes began their iStore in 2003.
And MySpace was launched, I think, as well.
MySpace, I didn't... You do your backup.
Well, I've got backup here because it's usually...
The biggest theme of this podcast was faith and belief and look after your teammates. And he thinks, I better have a backup row and reminisces if I don't do it. You're bloody cheap.
Hang on, that's all my notes there.
Okay, some deaths in 2003.
Yes.
Here's some more trivia for you. This lady won 4 Oscars.
Meryl.
No.
Oh, she's dead. This person is dead?
This person dies. These are deaths in 2003.
Okay.
And this famous actress, if I give you the first name, you'll get it quickly. So we'll see who's faster. My name is Catherine
Hepburn.
40 Ratten.
Wow, he's never coming back.
This person starred in A Kill a Mockingbird. I am Gregory
Peck.
Gregory Peck. Heard it here first, 4-1. Welcome to the competition, Robin.
Nice to be back.
I am a famous person. My first name was Bob. My second name was...
Hawk.
Hope? You say Hope then?
No, I said Hawk.
No, Bob Hawke.
Bob Hope.
Bobby didn't die. The Prime Minister did. The old Prime Minister didn't die that year. So I won't take one off.
No, you should.
Johnny Cash. And here's one for you.
Did you?
I didn't have anything to tell you.
Did you just
Johnny
give the
Cash.
answer away?
I've given you the answer because I don't know anything about it.
Johnny Cash, that was a Joaquin Phoenix movie.
Correct.
Something The Line.
This person...
Beyond the Line. Oh, take the line, follow the line, run the line.
On that film, Follow the Line.
No, it's his song.
Oh, okay. This person was in the greatest... This person's last death for 2003. This person was in The Great Escape. We spoke about it on the podcast. He's a magnificent specimen of a human being.
Looking, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Go far away. Go on.
Newman?
Charles Bronson. Remember him in the Black
Charles
Suit?
Bronson.
Yeah. Remember what he said? He looked unbelievable. Have you seen The Great Escape?
No.
Oh, well, that's hard.
That's why I said throw the rock.
That really puts you behind the eight ball. But if you see it, it's when they, they go over the fence.
I reckon I've seen a snippet of the show, but not
fair
really
enough.
watched it.
Well, Charles Bronson, good specimen. Okay, in 2003, the premiership winner was their third one.
Oh, Brisbane.
Thank you.
Jeepers.
Yeah.
Wow, I was just looking at my notes there. Now
Yeah, jeepers.
Okay. You should get these couple. In 2003, the Carlton captain injured his shoulder against West Coast in round 6, and he announced his retirement shortly after. His name was...
What?
Ready, the Rats. In 2003, the winners of the... There's a hint. The winners of the Brownlow medal were... Jesus Christ.
Was it Herd?
Three-way? No. Herd
no,
Voss was 96.
Yeah,
Come on, there's three of them.
Yeah, Goods.
Yes.
Rashudo.
Yes. He's on TV Monday nights. He's going to coach Tassie. Buckley.
There you go.
Okay, last one. In round 2 against Collingwood in his final season, one Carlton player had 30 possessions, kicked a goal. He wore number 7. He's our superstar guest on the podcast today. His name is...
Brett Ratten.
Your humour is shithouse. That's when you should have given him such a good rap.
I wasn't even listening to you. Yeah.
So he played 6 games in the final season in 03.
Yep.
Because I looked up what was your best game in there. And that's what you had. Do you remember that game? Against Collingwood when you had the 30 and kick one? No? You probably did that so many times.
That was yeah, no, I don't remember that one.
That's Rowan Reminiscence. Now,
Very average.
No, it wasn't.
I've got some great. I'm going to lift us. I've got some great trivia. I've got a great surprise for you both actually that we're going to finish with shortly.
I'll give Brett the line. Brett, you got time for trivia?
I'm going to have to be
very
quick because I've got to go to home and then go to the VFL.
Oh, sugar.
So basically.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
I've always got time for trivia. Okay, I'll be very quick.
We better hurry up.
I'll be very quick, and I've got a really good surprise, and I want to get this in. Okay, budget 87 million, grossed about 148.
Yeah.
7 Academy Award nominations.
So say, Coach, just quickly, how much was the budget for the film?
87.
87, yeah.
And it made, made 140.
That's a lot of money, though, isn't it?
It is a lot of money, actually. It won 0 Oscars. It was beaten in virtually every category by The Return of the King, which won all 11. Seabiscuit was foaled in 1933, a grandson of the legendary Man of War. He was a small for a thoroughbred with knobbly knees, an awkward gait, and a tendency to sleep and eat far more than standard racing horses. His early career was unremarkable. He raced 35 times as a 2-year-old and won only 5 races, frequently used as a training horse for better animals. Under trainer Tom Smith and owner Charles Howard, he became the leading money-winning thoroughbred in history at the time of his retirement. He was voted American Horse of the Year in 1938. He did break down before the race of the century. It was Red Pollard who was injured, not Seabiscuit, in the lead-up to the War Admiral race. Seabiscuit himself broke down later. And he retired in 1940 after winning the Santa Anita Handicap on his final start, the race he had never won and the film ends on. He died in 1947 at Ridgewood Ranch in California, where he is buried. And finally... the jockey who actually rode Seabiscuit in the race of the century was George the Iceman Wolfe, because Red Pollard was injured. The look-back moment, remember in the final race, he looked back at the jockey mid-race when George Wolfe turns to look at War Admiral before pulling away is real. It happened. Wolfe looked back at the Triple Crown champion to assess the gap and then asked Seabiscuit for more. It's one of the most audacious gestures in the history of sport. Looking back in a race is almost never done. It costs time and it signals confidence that borders on disrespect. Now, I have something very special for you to finish on. I've travelled the world to source the original 1938 audio. Have you ever heard this before?
No.
I've got this for you. Genuinely got the 1938 commentary. It goes for about just over 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And I'm going to play it now.
Unreal.
Here we go. Let me take you back.
Just below us, we've noted in the 10-box square that opens onto the track, the winner's circle, a few of the judges and officials, a single table clothed in white, and on it a huge blanket of green with yellow chrysanthemums in it, and beside it a tall, sparkling silver trophy for the winner this afternoon.
And they're off, and it's a go. And Georgie Wolfe is at the whip on Seabiscuit to keep him up, and they're coming to me head and head. War Admiral on the inside. Wolfe is driving Seabiscuit, and Seabiscuit is outrunning him. Seabiscuit is coming to me. 1 length, 2 lengths in the lead, and he came right over 2 lengths. He goes by me. Seabiscuit by 2 lengths. War Admiral right on his heels. Kurtzinger sitting still and biding his time. Now it's a matter of making Seabiscuit set his own pace. War Admiral is trailing him around the turn. Seabiscuit carried him a little bit wide there. They're going halfway around that turn. Seabiscuit on the lead by 2 lengths. War Admiral is second to him, and Kurtzinger sitting still. Now War Admiral's trying to move to him. They're going into the backstretch. Seabiscuit by 1.5 lengths. Now Seabiscuit by 2 lengths. War Admiral second. Seabiscuit by 2 lengths. They've got 3/4 of a mile to come. And it's Seabiscuit by 1.5 lengths down the backstretch. They're halfway down that backstretch, and there goes War Admiral after him. Now the horse race is on, and I'm losing them there. They're head and head, but I'll catch them here in just another 50 yards. They're head and head, and now War Admiral has a head advantage, and Seabiscuit's got a head advantage. They're going into that far turn, head and head, and it is either one. Take your choice. And right there, they're coming into view now, and the head and head Seabiscuit on the inside by a neck with War Admiral second. That big throng dashing across the track, or across the infield there, coming for this fence. They've come into the stretch here in just a second, and they're head and head as they head for that home lane. Watch for them now as they turn into the stretch, head and head, both horses under a drive. This is a real horse race, just what we hoped we'd get. They're head and head, and both jockeys driving. It's the best horse from here in. They've got 200 yards to come. It's horse against horse, both of them driving. Seabiscuit leads by 1 length. Now Seabiscuit by 1.5 lengths. Wolfe has put away his whip. Seabiscuit by 3. Seabiscuit by 3. Seabiscuit is the winner by 4 lengths. And you never saw such a wild crowd. Seabiscuit's the winner by 4 lengths. Trying to drown this crowd out here. They're roaring around me.
I'll tell you what, I wasn't sure who was going to win that.
Good
I had a bit of faith. He was going to get that. But even in the movie, how Red says to the Iceman how they're great mates.
Yeah.
And he's in the hospital bed. I think he was in the hospital bed then.
He was.
And he says to him, let War Admiral come up and let him look him in the eye because then he won't let him beat him.
He won't let. He said it won't.
He won't get
hard.
he won't let him get past him. Yeah,
That's
so
amazing.
he just waited for him to come up, look him in the eye, and then said, "Go."
I thought that was magnificent when the two jockeys, when he was teaching him how to ride the horse. That's perfection when you know so much about. That's what it is, the sum of the parts, like a football team or any walk of life. The sum of the parts is greater. And that's when he's saying to him, don't do that with the horse, do this.
Yep.
And the horse and the jockey and the trainer and the owner all align to achieve something great.
Yeah.
I think that's what they did.
Fantastic. I think that is a perfect way to end this conversation. Brett Ratten, thank you so much for spending the time with us. I really appreciate it. You've been awesome. I mean, I'm not a footy guy, but just listening to you talk and the passion that you had and listening to my mate here who lives and breathes Carlton was a real treat for me. So thank you very much.
No worries, fellas. Thanks for having me. And will the Blues get up?
Will we get up this weekend?
You got a bye, have you? Or you know who the Blues got this week?
We play... We play Essendon.
Okay.
We play Essendon. Yeah. I hesitated because we sometimes release the podcast later than the week.
It doesn't matter. I'll tell you what.
I can tell you our whole draw if you want me to, but yeah, that's why I hesitated.
Yeah, sorry.
No, before we sign off,
me, Brett.
Let's give it a rating out of 5 and then we're done.
Yeah, give us your summary of the film, quick summary, and a rating out of 5, Brett.
I think it's a 4. It's a 4. I think. I think it's a 4. I love the whole concept and belief and trust. I think life is about trust and trusting people, and there's so much in it where they have the faith and belief in that. And I just love the whole concept of the movie.
Thank you, Robbie.
Look, this is one of the better underdog films. I love the characters in it, and I think the acting was great. And actually, Tobey Maguire was great as well. I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 5.
Fair enough. And then for me, I'm going to wrap it up and wind up the podcast as well. So I'm going to give it a 4.5 out of 5. Just a magnificent story. I think you're a 5.5 out of 5 fella though as well. So
absolutely.
I've fumbled my finish. Let me do that again. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5 as well. But Brett, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. You're a champion footballer and a champion person, and just to spend the time with two fellas that you've only just met, we really do appreciate it. So,
absolutely,
thank you very much. It means you cannot realise how I'm screwed crying again. Thank you, mate. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Good on you. But for now, I think thanks for listening.
Until next time.